Hello everyone, today we're going to be learning about solving equations with grouping symbols, and what we want to be doing is knowing and understanding how to solve simple linear equations with grouping symbols today. There's some other things we're going to be aiming to do as well, which will link to our previous lessons, kind of like looking at pronumerals with on both sides, and also understanding that our solution to an equation could be something that's not an integer, so it could be, for example, a fraction. So when we want to get rid of grouping symbols or brackets, we use something called the distributive law, okay? And this is something we've learned in our previous topic, where basically we multiply everything inside the brackets by the term at the front. In other words, we expand the bracket. So sometimes when you're solving equations, you have to actually expand the bracket first. So that's what we're learning how to do today. So I'm going to take you through some of these examples, let you try some on your own. You're going to then write out your summary and then have a go at some questions from your text. Okay, so for the first question, what we'll be doing is multiplying through by the term at the front. So we're going to be doing 2 multiplied by the c, so that's 2c. Then we're going to be doing 2 multiplied by the -3, so that's going to become -6, and that's going to equal to 76. Then what I want to do is I want to get the 2c component by itself. So I'm going to add 6 to both sides. If I add a 6 here and I add a 6 here, on this side, I'm just left with 2c, which is what I want. And on the right, I need to add 6 to 76. So that's going to give me, you got it, 82. Then if I want to get the c by itself, just like we're doing previously, we're going to do the opposite of multiplying by 2, which is dividing by 2 to both sides. And that's going to give us c is equal to 41. Okay. So in this section of work, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to not only just get everything onto one side with the unknown pronumeral, but sometimes we'll have to expand the brackets first. So in the second one, for example, we're going to do 4 multiplied by x, which is 4x. Then we're going to do 4 multiplied by 3, which is 12, and that still equals to x. Okay, then what we want to do is we want to get all the pronumerals onto one side, and we want to get all the numbers onto one side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take away x from both sides, and I'm also going to subtract 12 from both sides. So I'm going to kind of do 2 steps in one. You can do them separately if you want to. I'm just saving a bit of time. So I'm going to end up getting 3x on this side, because 4x take away 1x. And on the right-hand side, I'm going to end up getting -12, because I'm taking this plus 12 over there to that side. Then my last step is divide through by 3 on both sides, and x is going to be equal to -4. Remember, I can check my solution as well by substituting it in, and that's something you definitely do at the end of an exam if you had time. For now, I'm just going to keep rolling on, but please make sure you do check. All right, the difference in question C, you might notice, is that there's brackets on both sides. So all we need to do is we need to multiply the brackets on both sides. So I'm going to start on the left and get 4a, take away 8, equals 3a plus 12. Now I want to get all the letters onto one side, so I'm going to subtract this 3a from here and from here. And I'm going to get a minus 8 is equal to 12, because 4a take away 3a is 1a, we don't write the 1, and 3a take away itself is 0. Now we want to add this 8 to both sides, which is going to leave me with a equals 20. Again, you would check it in an exam. What's different between question C and question D? Have a look, have a think. Remember, at any time, if you want to go through something again, beauty is that you can pause the video and just rewind it, so feel free to do that. I am going through a bit quickly to make sure that I can get through all the examples in the space of this video. So if we're looking at question D, my first step is going to be to expand the bracket. So 2 by 6x is 12x. 2 by 1 is 2. On my right-hand side, I've got 4 lots of x, which is 4x. 4 lots of -5 is -20, and I've still got this -2 hanging on the end. I don't need to multiply it out by anything, and that's kind of one of the biggest mistakes that students would make, so just watch out for that. Then I'm going to bring this 4x onto the left-hand side. So 12x minus 4x is 8x. I've still got the +2 there. On the right, the 4x take away itself is 0, and I've got -20 take away 2, so that becomes -22. I then want to subtract 2 to both sides, so I'm going to get 8x is equal to -24. I want to isolate the x, so I'm going to divide both sides by 8, and I'm going to get x is equal to -3. Again, I'm going to check that answer in my exam if I have time. Okay, and you can just plug it into your calculator now and check. Question E, again, it's looking a bit more tricky than what we dealt with, but that's okay. So multiply through as we would before. Okay, so each term inside by the thing out the front. So I've got 12k plus 3 lots of 14. Let's try and do that in my head quickly. So that's 42. Sorry about that. And the 10k just stays as it is. I don't need to multiply it by anything, but I do need to multiply this -2 here into the stuff in the bracket. So I've got -2k, and this is where you've got to be careful, this negative sign here with this negative sign. So that's going to become +14. So now what I'm going to do is minus the 10k to both sides. I'll subtract it, so I get 2k plus 42 is equal to -2k plus 14. I still don't have all the pronumerals on the left, so I'm going to add this 2k to the other side, to the left-hand side that was. So now I've got 4k plus 42 equals to 14. I'm then going to need to subtract this 42 from both sides. So I'm going to get, just going up here, I'm going to get 4k is equal to, and I want to do, just quickly, I want to do, what do I want to do? I want to do 14 minus 42, which is -28. And so k is going to be equal to -7. Is what did I do? I divided both sides by 4. Cool. So at this point in time, you want to make sure that you have a look at any of the examples again that you need to, that perhaps you didn't understand. You can pause it, you can watch it through again, make sure you know how to do them yourself. Write down the solutions in your booklet or in your exercise book under the heading that was at the top of the screen, and write down your key summary points. So one important thing might be to watch out for the operation signs. So that's like if you got a negative and a negative, or a negative and a positive, what happens? And I'll let you fill in 2 more points, and we'll talk about them when I see you next. For the time being, you're going to be working through this chapter and choose one of the 2 levels that are there. Thanks everyone. Hopefully see you soon.